We're going to share some information with you, going to change your life. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Chicago, Mr. Tony DeVoe.
On today. They want me to talk to you about becoming a professional, right? Do I look professional?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Like a rich man.
All right, so guys, I only have 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do in 15 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about several things that I think are the difference between being in a business and being a business. I hope everybody taking notes. And see, when I came through the rankings, I've been doing this 20 years. I was the guy, I'd be way up in the front. Notepad, recording audio, paying attention to everything that was being said and done. I like this guy, he got his recorder out right now. I want y'all to have me on Facebook all day. I can see folks trying to upload me already. There's a couple things we're going to talk about, okay? How to become a professional in the network marketing industry, in the affiliate-based industry. So I want to talk about three things. Physical presence, I want you to write this down. Physical presence, social presence, and your mental presence, okay? There's a lot to cover. I'm going to cover it quickly and then I'll be around. Come to the back and see me. I know a lot of you guys are coming back and see me already. But, so let's just talk a little bit about that because physical presence, I'm talking about those things quickly. I believe that you need to look the part. If you're looking for professionals to join your business, or if you know what kind of person you're looking for, understand that like attracts like. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Bums hang with bums. Professionals hang with professionals. It is not going to change. If you want to get a certain caliber person in your business, you're looking for other professional people like myself, you gotta look the part when you show up. Fresh shave, suit pressed, shoes polished. My father told me something interesting one day. He said, you can tell a lot about a man just look at his shoes. I'm gonna tell you something. I said you can tell a lot by looking at anybody's shoes. Female or male, women, ladies, some of you all got these boots. Y'all running around. Them boots should be polished, they leather. Your shoes should be shining the same way. Let me tell you, everything's from the feet up. Remember that. So physical appearance is very, very important. Also, let's talk about social presence because believe it or not, social presence is more pertinent today than ever. A lot of you on social media. Ooh, let's cover some things. I run a digital media company. We specialize in branding and we work with thousands of networkers all over the globe. And one of the main things I notice when I go to profiles, when an engineer goes and looks at information from people, we go and we look at what you're posting on your platform, your appearance on those platforms, and how you are designating yourself on those platforms. Is that clear? Some pictures not professionally done. That's the number one big sign of a person is not ready to be a professional networker. Second thing you notice, people putting some awkward comments out on their pages. Let me tell you something. Not only do I own several other companies besides being the Karatbars, but one of the main things that corporations are doing right now when they get ready to hire someone or do your review, they go into your social media. And they're looking to see, what are you saying in your post? What kind of things are you engaging in? So some of the things I tell people, you gotta be very careful about several things, believe it or not. Careful about what you say politically. It's unfortunate, but you gotta be careful what you say because you don't know who you're gonna offend at your office that you may still be working at right now. Are you with me? You don't know what you're gonna say to offend a potential prospect who may be checking you out to see about joining the Karatbars business with you. And also, some of these pictures I see some folks posting, my God. Let me tell you something, man. I see people that are saying they in Karatbars, they got pictures on their social media where they're running around doing all kind of awkward poses, funny outfits. I mean, just some very strange things. And I see some of this even on LinkedIn. It's another place you need to be extremely professional if you're looking for professional people. I have an account on LinkedIn. I personally recruit and look at people on LinkedIn all the time. Let me tell you something. People on LinkedIn are looking for your A game. Are you with me? So those are the things about social presence. And if you got questions about that, come to the back and ask me about it, and I'll tell you some things that you can do. Because, perfect example, let me give you guys a little history. Because another thing you guys are not doing is putting your videos out, like Mr. Ty Best said. Because one thing I respect about Ty Best, this is my first time meeting him in person. He's a no-nonsense kind of guy. He's like myself. And something he said was important. He said, most of you guys haven't even put up a personal video yet. Now that could be because you don't know how to do it. Come see us, we can help you with that, that's not a problem. But something you need to know about when you actually put those videos up is that when you post a video and you create a YouTube account, there's a multitude of things that need to happen for that video to go viral. So the way you look, your appearance, keywords, there are things you need to learn and understand about that. Some of you all are going to help you out with that when we can. But more importantly is this. You need to follow the example of people that made it happen. 7 years ago, I posted a video, a marketing video that I did for another company that I was in. And that video got about 26,000 views. Off of that one video, I received almost 750 phone calls. Out of those 750 phone calls, I converted and closed 276 people into another business I was in. Video works. The 2 videos I just posted in Karatbars, I posted 2 weeks ago. Both of those videos already have over 10,000 views. And I've already received close to 75 phone calls on each one. 9 different states, 3 different countries. Videos work. So I would recommend before you go to bed tonight, I don't care who organization you're in, you need to get your video done. You need to recognize and know what kind of leadership you're working with, whether you under China, Bentley, Dr. China, whether you work with Ty Best, recognize your leadership and know what kind of people you're dealing with right now. Some of you don't even realize the legends you have that are in your leadership right now. Ty Best, and I didn't even know this, a man that I respected for the last 7-8 years, that I've considered to be one of the top network marketers in the world, that I studied under. I didn't even realize he got introduced to the business through Ty Best. And this is how he started his career. True story, through Ty Best. So you don't have any idea of who you're in business with. Are you with me? So let's just cover those things. So let's talk about mental presence. Okay? Now, so man, time going out fast on me. So much to cover, right? I don't know if you can write all of this. I'm just going to go through it. Mental presence. Write this down. Okay. There are 3 stages of things that I think are important to become a professional. So I'm going to talk a little about the training that I've had and some of the advanced training, okay? Mental presence means that I'm always thinking whenever I meet someone, see someone, or run into anybody that's brand new that I know or don't know. I'm trying to figure out whether or not I want to do business with them quickly. Let me give you an example. If I meet these 2 young ladies right here in the front, you 2 ladies, stand up for me for 1 second. If I meet you, what's your name? Huh? Monisha and Sheila, right? When I meet Monisha, if for whatever reason I get any inkling that is something in her character is that I don't want to do business with her, or that she gives me any recourse about Karatbars, I mean, if I asked you a question, I said, you know what? Your shoes are lovely. I said, you know what? I know my sister's been begging for some shoes like that. Where'd you get them from? Yes. Oh, Macy's is a great place. I said, you have good taste, you have great qualities. So I'm sorting quickly. You follow me? I said, you look like a sharp woman, you look like a businesswoman. I said, you own a business? I'm interested in doing business work. Does that make sense? Now let's assume that she had told me, no, I don't. Next question I would ask her says, you know what? You seem like a leader. You dress very sharp. I said, do you keep your business options open? Would you be very interested in actually opening a business for yourself? If she says no, I'm immediately pivoting, changing the conversation, saying thank you, nice to get a chance to meet you, and moving. What some of you guys are doing is you're trying to convince someone to do something for themselves that they don't even want to do. And that's why you're losing a lot of time and energy. That's why when we talk about mental presence, you need to be in a state of mind. You're not there to save everybody. This is a business, right? So you need to move along quickly. So automatically, and I'm gonna go to Sheila. See what I'm saying? I would move away from you, but some of you guys are gonna stay here and try to sell this young lady, right? So you get a pivot and move. Can everybody write that down? Pivot and move. Sit down, ladies. Pivot and move means sort fast. That's part of your mental presence. And there's a couple things. Oh man, it's a lot to cover. My goodness. Let's talk about one thing called embedded commands. Because some people ask me all the time, how do you close people to get individuals to get in business with you? Well, when I signed up all the VIPs, I've been signing up, I believe in telling people what to do. But that's called embedded commands. We're going to talk about this. Some training I'm going to be doing. I can't cover all this right now, but there is some training I'm going to do that's going to just cover explicitly how to close people that you don't know. And I'm talking about trying to close within 24 hours at minimum. Because that's how long it takes usually for me to sign somebody up, if it takes longer than that. And if I sign you up, most likely you're coming in as a VIP. Are you with me? How many people here have signed up a VIP account from someone? It's not enough. There's not enough hands going up. How many people have signed up 2 VIPs or more? There's still not enough people. 5 or more. How many people that are in here right now been in the business more than a year? Every hand that went up in here right now, you're supposed to have 10, 15 VIPs at minimum on your front line. Being honest with you. And if you haven't had that, we need to talk. I did that my first maybe 2 weeks in the business. Matter of fact, first week in the business. But let's talk more about, okay, we'll talk about the embedded commands. Let's talk about the fear of asking. Because a professional is never afraid to state his price. I hear folk all the time. Well, you know, DeVoe, when it gets time to close, I get a little nervous, so I say, well, you can get started for free. Ask one of my warriors if you ever hear me say anything about free in this business. There is nothing free in life. Time is not free. My time is not free. It's my lifespan I'm spending doing this. You may be able to type on that keyboard and make an account for free. But for me and you to continue to do business or speak at all, we got to transact some business. So you got to look at the vision of which we're involved in a lot larger. Does that make sense? Stop being afraid to ask for $2,000 as peanuts. The average gold broker to become a gold broker costs you $50,000. So why aren't people discussing that? So I'm involved in a business right now, International Gold Acquisition Company, and I said, I don't even have to have a broker's license. I saved 50 grand. That's a different conversation, right? In fact, they let me get involved for as little as $2,000. Doesn't that sound a lot different? Right? So, undeniable truths. That's another thing about being a professional networker. This is some of the training that I've had. What is undeniable truth? That's when I get someone to say yes to me 3 times for whatever questions that I ask. I'm covering some stuff right now that you probably haven't heard of, but you need to get people used to responding and saying yes to you, your prospect. Even if you say, you know what? Man, don't you see yourself having a house that's paid for in the future? Yes? You see that? Don't you see yourself walking off of your job in the next 24 months and telling your boss what they can really do with themselves? Yes? Don't you see paying for your mom's home and making her have a new car on her birthday? Yes? This is called future embedded commands. I'm forcing the prospect to think about the things that I want them to think about. So next question that I say is, it's time to get started now. Yes? These things work. It's the truth. Being honest with you. But a professional networker is always assuming to close. Write that down. I'm assuming to close. I'm assuming you get started. I'm not assuming you're going to tell me no. My job is, man, I'm an assumptive seller. That's the training I've had. The training people I train with, we made millions doing what we do. We battle warriors. We don't believe watching TV shows. Like Ty Best said, he might get one show he watched out the whole week. The rest of the time, that man's getting his knowledge. He's reading books, writing books. The only thing that I like to watch are amazing sales movies. Anybody ever heard the Glengarry Ross story before?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love that movie. Man, there's a clip in that movie where they send this guy down to sort through the salespeople and force them to produce, or they gotta leave the company.
We got clothes in here.
Closes, baby. He said, that's all that matters. Can you close the deal? Are you with me? So that's powerful. So fear, asking, undeniable truths, we're going to move that. Assumptive futures, write that down. And I'm going to be training on some of these things, but I just want you, I can't cover everything, but I just need you to think about some of this stuff, like assumptive future. So you need to be planting seeds in people's minds of where they're going to be if they do the business in the future. Man, I already see that you're going to be debt free. I see already for the first time in your life, you're going to be happy. I know, man, you ain't been happy on that job in 25 years. I can see you on the beaches of the world with me. We're going to be, man, getting colossal shrimp, prawns. You understand what I'm saying? Folks, you got to get in the habit of building folks up. A professional networker is a master of making you feel good. Do you understand? You people only do business with you if you make them feel good. Keep in mind, every human being, when they make an acquisition or purchase anything, first buys on emotions, then on logic. That's why, gentlemen, you get mad at your wife. She said, baby, I need to go grab a couple things from the mall. Let me see your credit card. And she goes, she come back with all this stuff. You said, man, why you buy all this stuff like this? She said, it just felt good. It just felt right. She's buying on emotions. This is what happens to you in any transaction. And a professional networker is always thinking about this. You have to control where you're going with your conversations when you prospect it. It's very, very important. We actually call it cold reading also in sales terms. Cold reading means I'm looking for you to tell me something that's aching you in your life. I might ask you a couple questions. Is it your bills? Is something going on with your family? You can't spend enough time with your wife. You're having issues with your kids running wild at school. For whatever reason, you can't get up there to take care of them. I'm going to seed into you how Karatbars can fix that. You understand what I'm saying, you guys? Is everybody following me right now? Yeah. You have to get quicker on your toes. Ty Best said it best. I was back there listening to this man. I love sitting next to him. He said, man, sometimes I don't know what I'm going to say. But what he has discernment. See, the pastor that just left him up here said something amazing. He said, how many of y'all involved in ministry? I only saw a couple of hands that went up. But what I'm telling you, you already dealing with God's money. What you think gold is? So you all in the ministry, you understand what you got your hands on? Your problem is you're not acting like it. You need to become an evangelist in your business. You saving lives. What's more important right now than helping folks might get caught up like Shirley talked about up here earlier today? And you wasting time. 3 more things and we're going to be out of here. 3 more things I want you to write down. Write this down. Write down reverse links. It's another thing I'm going to be training on. I never hear this discussed. But it's pertinent for a professional marketer if you want to be amazing in sales. What are reverse links? Well, reverse links is when somebody says to me, well, you know what, DeVoe, this sounds good, but I sometimes I just don't know. And this is what I want you to think about this statement. Write this down. When you try to put a blank and a comma, you will blank, period. When you try to go to sleep tonight, comma, you will think about Karatbars. That's called a reverse link. I'm telling you what you're going to do in the future. When you try to leave out here and you go to that parking lot and you start that car and you get in that car that you don't like, you're going to think about the residuals you're losing. See, you got to start preemptively planting psychology on these folks. You need to study this industry. You don't even know enough about gold right now. Right now, gold bullion is being shipped all over the world right now. Governments are acquiring it. And you got an opportunity to move millions of dollars worth of gold. Everybody in here. But you don't even know your own power yet. Because you're not studying. You got to get trained. You got to study. You got to eat at this business every day. Don't be afraid to make millions of dollars for your family. Does that make sense? Yeah. How many people here have somebody famous in their family? And you're going to be the first one? And if it's not going to be you, who's going to be? Who you waiting on? Somebody got to do it, right? Next thing I want you to write down unrelated links. I talk about reverse links, write down unrelated links. Okay, I know you get that down. Oh, I got to speed it up. I'll come back to that part, man. There's so much that I could give y'all on this thing. It's crazy. But, so the things I've said so far, do they make sense to you? Okay? I'm telling you how you're going to be able to start working on programming prospects. That's what I've always called it. That means whenever I meet someone, once I've decided that I want to work with you, understand what I just said. I'm not trying to sell somebody and convince them to come work with me. I'm trying to decide whether I want to work with you. You understand the difference? A professional marketer is not out here allowing everybody to come into their business. Like Ty Best is saying, I don't have time to be sitting up talking to folks that ain't talking about nothing. Sometimes, Mr. Best, am I lying when I say sometimes you be ready to hang up the phone on some of these folks? Wasting my time. I got time to be wasting. You want to get to the point as quickly as possible. Are you with me? And I'm going to say something about unrelated links. Unrelated links means that I may ask you 2 questions quickly to get the answer that I want, or to get what I call as an assumptive set to get a yes from you. I said, man, don't you want to spend more time with your husband? Don't you want to make sure your kids go get to school with somebody that they love? The person starts doing like this. This is called cold reading. If a person is just nodding their head up and down and shaking their head, that means they're in agreement with me. That's a good time to start closing. And when I say start closing, I always say, listen, all we need to do is fill this out. I say, take out your credit card. You notice I didn't say, do you want to get started? Assumptive says, take your credit card out. You tell them to take it out. People are used to doing what they're told to do. What do you think most people have jobs their whole life for? Isn't somebody telling you when to come, when to show up, when to go to lunch, when to go eat? These are the things you have to start to understand. If you take command in the business, wait for them to tell you they don't have the card. Wait for them to tell you, no, I'm not ready. Other than that, I'm assuming yes. Take your card out. What you got? Visa, MasterCard, American Express. Everybody listen to what I'm talking about right now, right? Okay. Well, we call that, that's called presumptive sales and repetitive sales. Repetitive sales is once I've had a person set up the close and they take that credit card and get rolling, I'm assuming they start as VIP. If I hear one more person say something about, oh, I always offer the bronze first because it's hard out here for people. If it's hard for them, that's why they need to take their last to get the VIP. See, Dr. China saving some of y'all don't even know it. She called me one day, she said, DeVoe, you only signing up VIPs, man, what are you doing? I said, Dr. China, I'm turning away a lot of packages. You're not coming in my business unless you're a VIP. Y'all think I'm joking, don't you? I put my back office on this thing right now, there's so many black dots that blow your mind. I was like, oh, when I first brought him in, I didn't want to talk to you. Wasting my time. In America, where people spending money on shoes, clothes, garbage. I see some women got spending a whole closet full of $5, $10 specials. It's embarrassing. And you telling me you ain't got 2 stacks. In an economy where there's billions available. When I say you better get adamant about what you got your hands on, when I say you looking to get your mind right, it starts inside your own head. So if you still buying garbage, you're not acquiring enough gold right now in case of an emergency, don't be expecting to catch and find nobody like me. Because I'm going to ask you about yourself before I come in business with you. Are you with me? Few things. You got 3, 4 minutes at a time? In about 4, 5 minutes? Am I good? Oh, Lord, 1 minute. Okay. I'm going to try it. Hey, what can I do? I got to work by the time. Time is in 1 minute.
1 minute.
Oh, she's saying 4 minutes make me feel okay. 1 minute. Okay. One of the most powerful things I think that I learned in sales training is something called Aikido diplomacy. Aikido, like karate. You ever heard of Aikido before? A-K-I-D-O. I'm a martial artist, but it's actually called Aikido diplomacy. That means if a person gives me some kind of rejection, what's your name right here, brother? Albert, what's your name? Let's say Albert and Malik give me some kind of resistance. They say, you know what? Mr. DeVoe, I haven't done all my research and stuff on the company yet. My immediate response is, I completely understand that, and understand that this company's already documented, registered worldwide, 120 countries, and there's almost 400,000 affiliates in the company already. Let's get rolling now and not waste time. See, Aikido diplomacy means whenever a prospect gives you any resistance, you accept that and all you do is say, I understand that, and. Write that down. I understand that, and we already are documented, and let's roll. Why is that important? Aikido diplomacy means that you accept and empathize with what a person's concerns are, but you believe that what you're saying is legitimate. Period. Are y'all following what I'm talking about right now? I'm trying to give it all to you. I've got about 30 seconds. Woo, man. I don't know if I'm not going to get to everything, but I'm going to tell you this. Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to leave it there. This other stuff is too heavy to cover right now. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Is the stuff I'm saying making sense so far? Yes. Do I sound like I'm a professional network? Yes. Would you be interested in knowing how to do what I do? Yes. Then I can promise you this. You're in the right room. Get with us. We are serious about our business. And another thing that you need to do, make sure when your leadership gives you advice, follow it and stay plugged in to the systems that they use. Are you listening to me? Right. See, I'm going to tell you I'm a funny kind of networker. I've been in different companies before. But one thing, if you go to any company I've ever been in, if you ever say this one thing, you know how some companies you go in, people be afraid you're going to get somebody on your downline, move somebody on your downline, and people don't trust you and all that. I've never had those issues. You want to know why? Because whenever I say something, even if I don't get it done right then, I'm going to do it. Nobody ever has to question me twice. My word when I speak is bond. That's the only thing you got, is that's it. So when I tell you your word needs to be the exact same way, and follow and trust your leadership. These people are already successful. They are documented. I think about 40 of you guys already came back and got systems for me already. But I'm going to tell you something. This company is going to be $1 billion company. You will remember me making that statement here today. This is going to be $1 billion company. You want to get yourself in position now before hundreds of thousands of affiliates start filling into the matrix. Some people in here are going to get rich by default. I'm claiming that right now. Some folks in here are going to get rich by default because you were smart enough to get in position. Are you with me? Karatbars, we going to do it? Yeah. Will we do it? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I'm not going to see you at the top. I'm going to see you over the top with some maid service, butler service, and a cook. We'll be around, come see us, but I know the next person we bring it up, I believe, oh man, is the master coming up here? Oh, am I bringing you up? Well, welcome back, Milo Delco. Come on, give me a hand. And you know what? It is almost unfair to get people with this much information. I mean, 30 years of training and education and experience in this industry, making millions of dollars to try to condense it into 15 minutes. We just got to do it because we got to be out of here by 5 o'clock and I'm paying the bill.